Hello and good morning from me, chap. So, we actually have what may be an interesting Dragon Master Pass for the first time in quite a few months. Believe it or not, we have a Divine coming inside the next Dragon Master Pass, and it is indeed going to be for Mr. Bird Boy Ra. So I've got Squack here, and Ra, of course, is a dragon that's been available a couple of times in the past, but he is a Divine, and he does have Fire and AoE. So if you were someone that was super desperate for AoE and you really wanted fire in there for some reason, there is actually the opportunity for you to get this dragon. But, of course, with it being inside the Dragon Master Pass, it does mean that you will have to buy the Premium Pass if you want to get your hands on him. But essentially, with most of the Dragon Master Passes, if you buy them when they're on sale, they're only a couple of dollars. So realistically, you gotta think, is it worth spending a couple of dollars for a Ra dragon? For some players, it might be worth it. If you're trying to decide between Ra and Hathor, for a lot of players, you're probably going to be better off going for Hathor. But some people might really want that fire element. But this is the Dragon Master Pass that is coming up for September. And the other dragon that's available in this Dragon Master Pass is the Cleric Dragon. So, even though they may have nerfed parts of the Dragon Master Pass in the past, you'll see that at 3,600 that'll give you every single Ra dragon part. So that's pretty easy to get to. But even though they've nerfed some of the other rewards in here, if you were gonna buy any Dragon Master Pass and you don't already have Ra and or Cleric, it's probably going to be the most value for money Dragon Master Pass that you're gonna see in a good while. And of course, Ra's base stats are sitting at 86 attack, which is quite high, and 244 health, which is a little bit on the low side compared to obviously the Exception Dragons and Hathor and things like that. But again, if you really need double AoE and it can somehow fit on your team, and maybe you're not going to get Hathor, it is definitely an option for a lot of players to go for Ra. So keep that in mind. Again, it's going to be the next Dragon Master Pass because this one ends in a couple of days. You'll see I got up to the extra Dem relics. But remember, you got to buy the Premium Pass section. So it's not going to be a free-to-play available dragon. Whereas, of course, Hathor is. So keep all of that in mind. So along with that, I will also, in fact, be hatching 2 new dragons today. How about that? And these 2 new dragons are going to first be that Mr. Cyclops Dragon that we need, the first part of that Hathor collection. Here he is, Mr. Epic Cyclops, very cute with his big eyes. And the other dragon that we've got is actually a new legendary, which I've been grinding for a little while to get. But there is the first dragon in that Hathor Rising collection, so we've still got the others to get, but we should be on pace. So some dragonologists describe Cyclops dragons as brutish simpletons, while others emphasize their crafting prowess. This trainer recommends simply giving them space and respect. You want respect, little Rolt the Cyclops? I can give you some respect. Oh, what the heck? In his baby form, it looks like when he's walking towards the food, is that an angry eye? Or is that like pink eye? Stank eye. Oh god, it looks like stank eye. I'm sorry, it looks incredibly bloodshot. You see that? You see that added effect? I don't know if it was meant to look like pink eye, but I cannot unsee it anymore. I mean, it's cool that they've got this design. It looks like he does have a lip on his eye that comes down, which I'm pretty sure most dragons don't have, but yeah, that's kind of creepy. I think he does have quite a different design to a lot of other dragons though, so I can definitely appreciate his design-wise, rather than just being a copy-pasty dragon. So, you know, overall, I do actually really like Cyclops' design. I kind of prefer if they put more dragons that look more like him, you know, more rustic, I guess, than some of the cutesy-wootsy dragons. Even though I like cute dragons, but I kind of prefer dragons that look like this, honestly. Oh god, he still has the stank eye. It must be anger eye. Okay, whatever. I'm going to stop talking about pink eye. Might infect me with it. Anyway, the other dragon that we've got here, you see him peeking out? You see him peeking out in the hatchery? We have this guy here. This dragon is actually permanently bursting out. He's desperate to get out. And this, of course, is Mr. Shinobi, because to get Shinobi, you can only get it in the highest or well, I guess tier in the arena, which obviously a lot of players can't get to right now, and you'll get pieces for him over time, usually 5 to 6 pieces, but they don't drop very often. But this is a new legendary dragon, and he is a legendary water and shadow dragon. What is with this combo of elements recently? Legendary water and shadow. I feel like everything is dropping with water and shadow. Artemis, Osiris, Shinobi. Anyway, the Shinobi Dragon is a master of shadows, hiding expertly in plain sight to surprise its enemies and steal their snacks before they even know what hit them. You know what, Shinobi? If someone had the ability to basically completely hide their tracks, rather than using it to, like, attack or be mean, imagine just using it to steal food. Is that chat or anti-chat? I actually don't know, but, you know, it's definitely not as mean as it could be. This is another dragon that I quite like the design of, you know, covering up his mouth. We usually see dragons with mouths, and I do like dragons that have human clothes because they look cool. But this is little baby Shinobi. Many players probably won't get a hold of this dragon for a very, very long time, so I'm happy to have him. This is basically the only reason I even leveled up my dragons, because realistically, leveling up my 3 mains has stilted my dungeon stones slightly. Not enough for it to really concern me too much, but, you know, I wanted Shinobi. I wanted to be in the highest arena tier, so that's what I did. But he has a lot of eyeliner on, a bright blue eyeliner. Is it a female Shinobi? Maybe. It might be a female Shinobi. Also, I love the fact that the tail is just a grappling hook. I could definitely see this dragon in like a different game, like an RPG or something. Am I the only one that could see that? Either way, that is new dragons for me, so I'm very happy about that. Also, don't forget that we have the boss challenge this week, so that means it's going to be less intensive than the castle event, thank goodness. Which, you know, castle events aren't super intensive, but I'd rather not have to log in every 6 hours if I don't have to. At least with boss challenge, it's more so you can get some extra tickets if you want them. You don't have to be super, super strenuous, but, you know, if you want the dragons, or whatever the major awards generally are for those events, then you just have to get to round 4, which is not too bad. But Castle Part 2 is going to be the make or break for a lot of people. That's when we are going to either get Hathor or not get Hathor. So yeah, that's going to be the tough one. That's going to be the tough one. So if you didn't manage to get, of course, Cyclops from the previous castle event, you'll not be getting Hathor, which is unfortunate because he is available free to play for free to play players. I've not spent anything so far on this event, but I wonder if they're going to make Castle Part 2 a lot more difficult or the exact same. Obviously, I'm hoping it's going to be the same for everyone's sake, but we'll have to wait and see about that. Of course, we've also got more dungeons on the way. Actually, I've got enough dungeon stuff to go and buy another purple. Let's open another one. Times 14. Heck yes. Heck yes. I've not been grinding out this dungeon very much this week. I'm only at 1,000, just over KOs, which is not very many. I'm really hoping for a fire dungeon. And then if we get fire dungeon, I'm going to be grinding out the fire dungeon because I might be able to get like 2,500 to 3,000 per reset if it's a nice one. Even with my team that doesn't have a divine ancient exception, it's still possible to get up to 3,000 stones depending on the dungeon week, which is the reason why I want to pick the good dungeon weeks for me. But you know, all things considered, since I've got my 3 main dragons now, and we're getting closer to having full epic sigils, it's probably going to be a good idea for me to, rather than keep leveling up my main 3, it's probably a better idea for me to actually just start hoarding food and just fully level up Emerger or something now. It's realistically, probably Emerger is going to be the best option. Or Emerger, possibly something else, but Emerger is probably going to be the best addition, and it is an exception dragon for me. Oh, I guess we'll open some chests quick since we've got to use them, right? We've got to use all... Oh my god, times 50 Pog. Oh my god, times 50, that is Pog champion, dude. That is my second times 50 of this event. I'm actually super, super excited for that. Wow, I was not expecting that. Thank you, game. I appreciate you very much. So yes, make sure you spend all of your tickets before Chapter 2 begins, otherwise they will just go into the void and that'll be it. You'll have none to use. So they will be swapping over to the next chest, so please, please, please make sure you collect all of the tickets that you can out of the dungeon, which I should probably go and do right now. Is there a chest that I can actually afford for this amount? I can afford those two, right? So I'm going to go and open these up quick. We'll use our last dungeon currency on our last few tickets. I'll spend the tickets and then that'll be it. At least then we make sure we're not wasting anything. Super, super important that you do this. If you don't do this, you will just be wasting. And we don't like waste. Oh, we're about to get a duplicate soft dragon as well. How about that? That will give me quite a few extra talismans, which I can use. I could get Artemis right now if I wanted to. But of course, we are setting our sights on Newt come next week. I could probably also just buy Osiris straight away. But Newt is the bigger priority first. Then I'll be getting Osiris. And then if I keep grinding, maybe we'll get Hephaestus as well. You know, it depends on what the dungeon weeks are going to look like. Depends on how often I can log in. But look at all of these main rewards. I have like every single one of them. I have every single one of them. I actually do. Look at that. That's actually crazy. Obviously apart from Hathor and the Altar Divines. But I have all the others. Very cool game. A full cleared out event sounds good to me. But of course with the Dragonmaster Pass, with that coming up, be aware that the best time to breed for Dragonmaster points is going to be during next week. So even though the Dragon of the Month is coming next week, best time is going to be next week or outside of the event to try and finish that off. But make sure you pick your times wisely. Maybe you want to focus on breeding the new Dragon of the Month in the first week of next week and then go for Dragonmaster points after that. Depends on how desperate you are for Ra. That is if you even choose to purchase it, of course. But that is more or less everything to expect in the upcoming week that's of importance. Of course, you can check this out yourself if you go and check out the image file. And of course, they post about it on Facebook. But interesting. At least they're giving another opportunity to get divines in a different way. Even if it is pay only, at least it's quite cheap, right? But for now, I appreciate you being here and keep your grinding going. I hope you get Newton, Artemis, and Hathor and everything else.